We got earnings coming back around. Most of my portfolio is like the back half of July, early August when we got the Zeta. We got Zeta and AMD earnings on the same day. So August 4th, shout out to my home SSB day. We got a big day. Might be out for drinks, steak that day, or we might be eating ramen that day. I don't really know. I think it's gonna be good. You know, I'm always bullish for the most part. So we're gonna see. But that's just an overview of the recap of just the overall market right now. Now, as far as a portfolio, today was a pretty red day, down 3% on the day. On the week, we're down 1.2. What's up, fam? Welcome back to jitters TV. If you're new to my channel, hit that like, comment, subscribe button. We cover all things business, investing, AI, and self-improvement content. That's something you're interested in? Leave a comment, like. Appreciate you. Returning back to the channel. Stock portfolio update. You're not new to this. Let's go ahead and get right into the portfolio. Before we do that, you know, we got to get into the fear and greed index just to see where the market sentiment is right now. And as y'all can see right now, we're at fear, but very, very close to neutral. Trump been talking about some Iran war and getting that started back up. So the market has been pretty shaky lately over this past week. As y'all can see here, the VIX is up 2% today. So it is starting to creep back up. And you can see definitely on July 10th, so last Friday, it spiked up from 15 to 16 due to that news. So it's still down the week and the month. Ooh, it's about flat. And then we're up on the 6 month. So it's starting to creep back up. So we have to see what's going on with that regarding that. Now, to give a quick update over the past week, July 6th to the 13th, with some quick macro stuff. You can see here the markets have been characterized by heightened geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, a shift in the Federal Reserve sentiment under new leadership, and significant volatility in the tech sector. So as you can see here, first we have the semiconductor slump, a priced-in earnings report from Samsung, and a disappointing trade debut for the Korean SK Hynix. I believe they went public, so it just initiated a broad tech sell-off. Names like NVIDIA, Broadcom, face pressure. You know, I'm a big AMD investor, so they've been trending down a little bit sideways for the past week or so. SpaceX did enter the NASDAQ 100 in the past week, sparking heavy trading volume. But I think today it actually dipped below its IPO price. So it's right around its IPO price. So we'll look into that just real quick. As far as geopolitical, this oil surge. So energy markets reacted sharply to renewed conflict in the Strait of Hormuz following a weekend of strikes and the U.S. blockade on Iranian oil sales. So Brent crude oil jumped toward 76 a barrel. But I mean, a couple weeks ago, a month, we were over 100. So still under 80 is still pretty good right now. Hopefully we just don't creep back up there. And then gold experienced profit taking, sliding nearly 3% down. So economic policy and indicators, the wash era, Fedman chair, first semi-annual appearance before Congress is set for tomorrow. So market expectations are for a rate hike have increased, with probabilities for a September hike moving to 84%, which I don't really know if we're going to get that, but I don't think we're going to get a rate hike this year, in all honesty. I think they might put some verbiage to make it seem like it's going to be a rate hike, but they're going to come in and either do one cut or just going to hold. There's no point of doing a rate hike right now. The consumer is hurting. Gas prices are already high. Why would you want to raise interest rates back up for the consumer to be hurting right now? So it don't make sense, but we're going to see. And some other major catalysts this week are Tuesday, we have the June CPI and Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh House testimony. Wednesday, we have the PPI and the Fed Beige Book and Warsh Senate's testimony. Thursday, we have retail sales and jobless claims. And on Friday, we have industrial production, housing starts, and the preliminary consumer sentiment report. On top of that, we do have Wednesday, we have ASML earnings also. Thursdays, we have TSMC's earnings. Thursday, we have retail sales. So ASML and TSMC are arguably most important than the bank earnings, as they provide the clearest signal on the semiconductor demand and hyperscaler capital spending. So, and then tomorrow we have major bank earnings too, tomorrow, Tuesday. So that's your JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Citigroup, things like that. So it's going to be an interesting week. We got earnings coming back around. Most of my portfolio is like the back half of July, early August, when we got the Zeta. We got Zeta and AMD earnings on the same day. So August 4th, shout out to my home SSB day. We got a big day. Might be out for drinks, steak that day, or we might be eating ramen that day. I don't really know. I think it's gonna be good. I'm always bullish for the most part. So we're gonna see. But that's just an overview of the recap of just the overall market right now. Now, as far as a portfolio, today was a pretty red day, down 3% on the day. On the week, we're down 1.25%. The month, we're up 3.5%. 3 month up 50%. Year to date, we're up 34%. All the time, we're up 107%. So to give you all just a quick recap of the individual companies that I own. So let's start off with AMD. So with AMD, no major weekend over the past week, especially none that's changed the thesis. Momentum is continuing. We did get some good price target upgrades to like 640, and we do have Lisa Su. She's hosting a AMD Day. I forgot what it's called. It's called Advancing AI. So we do have an Advancing AI event July 22nd through the 23rd. So I think that will be the next major catalyst for AMD currently, which will get the stock price moving again. We haven't even had those big quarters yet where we're like, oh, they crush numbers. We just predicting just because of the CPU demand has been going crazy these past couple months. So once we start getting those quarters, that shock and awe, those major beats, I see AMD in the sixes very, very soon. Now, next, when it comes to NVIDIA, the U.S. decision announced on July 10th to ease advanced chip export restrictions for the UAE, which expands the the addressable market that they can sell into. I do believe China said they're allowing their top companies to invest or to buy U.S. chips as well. So that opens up new revenue for NVIDIA, AMD as well. So we did see a slight relief on NVIDIA this past week. You can see here is on the 190s, and we did boost back up to the 203. But still, year over year hasn't been too crazy. And then also with AMD, on the weekly, up like 1.5%. The month we're down. So you can see that semiconductor trade has been cooling off, which is cool. But when in doubt, zoom out. Still up 100% over the past 3 months, 150% over the past year to date. So it's just consolidating all these gains right now, which is good. As long as the AMD holds the 400 to 500s, I'm chilling for real. Next, Meta, which probably had the biggest news like this past week, really shook the market. So they had a relief Friday. Meta did, as you can see here, it did gap up pretty well, 11% on the past week, just due to the optimism around their infrastructure and custom chip strategy. So Meta did announce that they're starting to sell excess compute to the market, which the Wall Street seems to like. They're boosting the stock back up. So Meta may benefit from controlling more of its AI stack. They also released a new model as well, which seems to be doing pretty good. And it announced a new data center in Canada. So it's very obvious that like the AI trade is still alive and there's still not enough compute. So when they said they selling excess compute the other week, and your Nebius sell off, your CoreWeave sold off, your NeoCloud sold off, I bought some more. So I bought some more Nebius the other week. July, I said I'm gonna try to sit on my hands, not buy too much, because July is usually a green month. So we're gonna see what happens. But if some of these companies do dip further, I gotta buy something, for sure. So, hey, but you see Meta here doing pretty good, on the past week. Now, as far as Nebius, you all can see here, the week is down 5.5%. The month is down 17%. 3 months we still good, but it's been consolidating. Fell from those 290, 300 highs, and it's been consolidating at 180. Fell to 180 to like 200 range for real. So, hey, I'm happy with it. I still have major gains on Nebius, and I got in this portfolio a little late, but I still got a 160 average, up 26%. So that's not too crazy. That is not too crazy. Still holding Nebius right now. When it comes to where we at now, SoFi, I haven't heard no major news with SoFi. SoFi is not a big position to me. It's only in this public portfolio. I sold out of SoFi in my private portfolio. I think it's still a good company long term, but had to consolidate some positions and rotate that money into other some more of my high conviction plays. Zeta, I did do a video on my video a week or so ago. We live streamed the investor event. Zeta software has been trending upward. I'm not going to lie. We're still up from those below 20s, 18. So it's holding 20 pretty well. When the week is up 4.2%. On the day, we were up like 5% today at one point, 6%. So we had a good day, but it sold off just with the overall market. But it's good that Zeta is showing good resilience right now in this market. I do have a video coming out specifically for the investor event coming out soon, probably this week, just to give you all, some more context. But watch my previous uploaded video if you do want to see more on Zeta. But very excited for this back half of this year. As you can see, it's been pretty stagnant over the past year. Well, if you got it a year ago, but most people have been buying, including myself, in that $16 to $25 range. So, we'll see how that plays out. Last but not least is Good Elf. No major news on Elf right now. Like I said, this is more of a diversification play from the AI trade. You can see here I sniped those 50 lows. I'm up 35%. So I'll continue to hold. We do have earnings seasons coming out, so that's probably where we get more background information, more catalyst for these positions in my portfolio, and really see where the portfolio goes from here. We're 6 months into the year already. It went by so fast, and I think software will probably outperform that back half of this year, but you don't really know. But from what I'm seeing now, software has been been holding up pretty well, and it's been trading green when semiconductors have been trading red. So I'm gonna continue to monitor to it. Like I said, I'm still bullish on all my positions in here, long-term investing. Hope y'all enjoyed this stock portfolio update. JRuss TV, we out.